Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. We have reached episode 88, and thank you guys for listening. We hope you're listening, and if so, we appreciate it. And we want to start off by saying that if you do like the show and you like what you've been hearing and you want to support us in other ways, you can head over to our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is basically just like a tipping service. It's a way to help out the show, and it covers a lot of different things. Covers promo, covers new gear, all sorts of things. It just makes the show sound better for you in the end. So we thank everyone who has contributed so far. That is buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. And you can head over to our social media pages if you can't get enough of our shenanigans here. And be sure to follow Steve at the Steve Strout, and you can follow me at CryptoZoo88, and that's on Instagram and Twitter. And we also have a Facebook page that we would love for you to become a member of. And of course, it doesn't cost anything except your time. And we encourage you to hop on, tell your friends to join. We just want to see what you guys are working on. We encourage you to post things in there. We like to share things that are related and unrelated to the show, but it's generally a lot of things that are coming up, or just things we feel like promoting. So yeah, head over there. Just look up the Steve Crypto Show on Facebook and you'll find us.
Yeah, so those are great ways to support us. You can also jump on Patreon, patreon.com/Steve Crypto, and you can pledge as low as $1 a month to support the show and keep us going. Like you said, it helps us in so many ways, helps us sound better, helps the audio will sound better. Maybe we won't sound better personally, but
I don't know. For the right amount, we might.
But yeah, that's patreon.com/Steve Crypto. We try to, as often as we can, it's not as often as we'd like, of course, post stuff up there, put exclusives and give you guys first looks at some things. Occasionally we'll put videos, we'll share photos, we'll do short mini podcast episodes and all kinds of stuff over there at patreon.com/Steve Crypto. And of course, if you want to look really cool and support us, you can get some of that Steve and Crypto merch. Just head over to Etsy and search for Steve and Crypto, and our merch page will pop up where we have t-shirts and mugs and magnets. And we have a few other items. You can reach out to us. I got some pins, some hats, which you will also be able to get from us. We're doing a few, hopefully, tentatively, we're doing a few events this fall where we will be actually in person hanging out and chatting with you guys, and we'll have a little merch and stuff with us. So
we're really looking forward to that. And I actually just last week we had the banner made that's that we're going to be putting up for a lot of those events. Pretty much anywhere we go, we're going to be taking with us. And
yeah, I'm gonna wear it like a cape. But
yeah, it's cool to have that and feel a little bit more official.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool, man. We're trying to get heard and trying to get our gospel out there. No, just kidding. We're trying to just, we feel like we're having fun, and we want you guys to have fun with us. And that's that. So that being said, those are ways you can be a part of the show and support the show. Now, last week we had some cast and crew from an upcoming indie film that's a homage to 50s sci-fi and horror movies like Plan 9 from Outer Space and like Roger Corman type movies. It's called It Came From Somewhere. And there's like crowdfunding and stuff going for it now. Go to itcamefromsomewhere.com and you can contribute to it. It looks like a fun movie. I highly recommend going and checking out the teasers and stuff for it. I'm excited about it. I'm actually involved in a small way, so it means a lot to me. So that's that. Yeah, go check out that episode last week when we talked with the crew from It Came From Somewhere. And not only that, this week we are introducing a new segment that we're going to do monthly. We have our friend Jack from the Stapled Spine fanzine, which we mentioned and gave shout outs to. He's going to come on once a month and tell us a handful of his favorite horror themed comics from the past month. So we got a good list of some pretty cool sounding books that I'm definitely going to check out. I think you guys will want to as well after hearing his bit. So the Staple Spine fanzine, be sure to track that down and check it out. Well, of course, we'll throw up a link so you could get copies of Stapled Spine sent right to your mailbox.
Rewinding just a hair, going back to indie films, our friend Maria Colette Sundin from the short film Lifeless, which was filmed here in Port Townsend,
which we discussed a while back.
Yep. Her film was just given an award, correct?
Yeah, it was awarded the best local short film at the West Sound Film Festival, which is based in Bremerton, Kitsap County, Washington. It's a pretty cool festival. I like it because they do show a lot of darker stuff, horror, sci-fi, comedy stuff, compared to like we have a local film festival, the Port Townsend Film Festival. Like, I love what they do. I'm glad they do it. They do show a lot of great programming, but a lot of the stuff is it's less of a it's less of a, not saying it's entertaining. It's not entertaining. It is entertaining, but it's less entertainment purpose. It's more like
educational,
social commentary kind of films, short films, which but
nothing wrong with that. But
nope. They do show a mix of other things like the actual drama films and this and that. But
you came right out and said, the name of our film festival and everything, and I wasn't going to say any names, but I was going to say
we didn't say nothing bad.
All I was going to say is I was going to highlight and appreciate the fact that Bremerton has a film festival that makes a point of highlighting horror and sci-fi and things like that, and we appreciate that. At least some local festivals are showcasing that.
I definitely didn't say anything bad about Port Townsend.
No.
I love it, and I attend. I try to attend every year, screen a couple movies. But I mean, I do kind of wish they would have showed Lifeless some love, considering it was filmed right here.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a surprise. But anyway.
But I'm all for local, smaller film festivals. It's awesome. There's going to be one starting this year, actually, in October in Paulsbo. Paulsbo is going to have a little film festival. And I talked to a friend of mine who's another filmmaker, producer, who's definitely done some horror stuff. He's going to be a judge. I don't know if they're called judge or jury. I don't know what the hell they call them on a film fest panel, but he's told me, he can't tell me info about what or anything, but he's told me that like he's been screening films and there's been quite a few horror films submitted. Like, he don't know if they'll all get in, but it's cool seeing more festivals like this being open to like horror, sci-fi genre films. But so this week, this is our first time getting back together talking in, it feels like a month, but it's only been a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks now. you came over for my youngest boy's birthday party and
had a near-death experience.
You were here for like 15 minutes and then my porch tried to eat you.
Yeah, that motherfucker. But
yeah,
like literally my leg went through his rotted porch and my leg's been pretty fucked up. I've been out of work. Today and yesterday, like the first day that I've actually been able to like sit up for an extended time without having my leg like out and elevated. And like right now, we've been talking. We probably talked for a half hour before we even started recording this episode, and I'm already starting to get kind of uncomfortable with my leg. But yeah, it's been fucking shitty, man, to be honest. But I miss doing this, so I'm toughing it out. I'm gritting my teeth, too. And we're plowing through, and we're gonna talk about some shit. And so basically, we're gonna spend a lot of this episode talking about what we've been up to.
Yeah, let's not talk too much about my deck on this episode, okay? I don't want to talk about how my deck is all rotted. A rotted deck.
Dirty, stinky deck.
No, I keep it clean, but it's rotting.
Yeah, it happens.
It's rotting away. Yeah,
I guess. But anyways,
yeah. So that's what we've been up to. I had a birthday
that's what I've been up
for...
to. But what have you been up
to? Well, yeah, like I said, we had the birthday party a few weeks back, and I think maybe on one of the last episodes I mentioned that we were going to see Ron Funches in Seattle. I don't think I ever really talked about that.
I think we did.
Did we?
I feel like we
talk
did.
About the show itself.
I feel like we did.
Well, not going to talk about that too much. Just going to say that was a great time. Very funny. Laughed a hell of a lot.
Great review. Great review.
Yep. Go see him. Let's see. Just been watching, working and watching lots of streaming stuff. There's so much, man. There's so much content. There's so many shows that I'm behind on, things I started and never got back to them. And then you try to go back and you're like, do I want to invest time in this now? Or, one example, Walking Dead. I watched up to season 5 and I have not watched anything past that. Like all the Negan shit, I don't know anything about that. I know that he's a cool character, but that's it. And then recently I'm seeing like all these advertisements for spin-off shows
15
or spin-off
different
series.
spin-offs and
there's
there's like one
Land
that's
of
like,
the Walking Dead, or
there's one that's like stories. They're all gonna be like little individual stories from The Walking Dead, and then there's gonna be like another, like a Daryl spin-off.
Tales of the Walking
Dead.
I
think. Yeah.
What's the new one? I didn't even know he was in this.
I know there was
series.
Fear the Walking Dead. I think the Tales one has the fucking actor that you're probably thinking of.
Terry Crews.
Is
that the one?
That's
okay.
Tales, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give that a shot. Probably just the fact that I like him. I'm not used to seeing him in horror, so I want to see how he handles that, because he's one of those guys that definitely doesn't have a problem making a fool of himself and being goofy and dressing up like a woman or whatever. But at the same time, he could beat your ass. So
maybe
it's kind of funny when you find like actors like that. The Rock, Terry Crews, both of them.
You say he could beat my ass or listeners?
He could probably fight, the average dude.
What if like example, what if Mike Tyson listens to us? Who do you think wins that fight? I think Tyson whoops that ass.
Mike, if you're listening,
Tyson beat him up.
There's no contest, and
and come on the show. Shit, come on the show if you're listening.
He has a pretty cool podcast where he has some good guests on occasionally. Hotboxing with Mike Tyson. Steve-O was just on it recently. Yeah. But I think that's something I want to start doing on here, is like giving shout outs to podcasts. So anybody listening might have something new to listen to. Like we've given plenty of shout outs to our friends at Night of the Horror File in the past, and Mick Garris.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely bring them all up.
Yeah.
And we, of course, we do our run promos for other shows, which we like to do, and that's cool. I definitely like that's our thing, man. Supporting other creators.
Yeah. I'll mention one. I'm just looking at my list of all the shows that I follow, and so I'll mention one now. And they don't need our help, but anybody who's a fan of this franchise,
don't help their ass. No.
Anybody who's a fan of the franchise might not even know this is a thing. So if you're a fan of Chucky like me, there's a podcast called Chucky Talks.
Okay, yeah, let's support that one.
Yeah, it's because honestly, I know they have their followers, but they probably don't have enough. They need more. Why not? So look up Chucky Talks with Alex Vincent and Christine Elise. Alex being, little Andy Barkley. And Christine being Kyle,
cool.
Of course.
Christine has been super cool to our show.
Yeah,
she jumped in and visited the show, and she's just super cool and supportive, and she's shared our post on on her social media and all that stuff. So no, she's cool. I say definitely support that show.
I just wanted to show some love back.
All right. I thought you were going to be like, support the Joe Rogan podcast or something like, no, fuck that. He don't need our help. He don't deserve help. Cool.
No, but not enough people know about this show with Alex and Christine, that they're basically brother and sister, they've been hanging out together for so long.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what have you been watching? You mentioned you've been streaming a lot of shit. What have you been watching? I know there's a few things that we've both watched. Say most recently on Netflix, there is Day Shift.
Yep, I watched that last night. Yeah, I caught that last night. It was very, very fun. Definitely recommend it to anybody who likes vampire movies. If you like
action movies,
action movies. If you like gruesome vampire movies with some comedy in there as well. It gave me,
and it's a great family story.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. He just wants Jamie Foxx's character just wants to be closer to his daughter. Yeah. But it gave me Blade vibes just a little bit, with some of the gadgets that he had. I'm not gonna say what they are, but just a couple cool little things that he had, and the humor in there. It seemed like it kind of felt like Blade with more humor.
It was definitely less moody. It was It was fun. There was fun moments like Snoop Dogg as a vampire hunter. You know what I mean? You didn't see him a lot in the movie, but the scenes you did see him, he made like a big impact. And it was cool. And like we said, it was Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, Dave Franco.
Yep.
Or were the main cast of the movie. And it's about they have sort of a underground vampire hunting union. And Jamie Foxx's character had been kicked out of it apparently multiple times, and he somehow he gets his way back in so he could make money hunting vampires and, like you said, reunite with his family. And it was cool. There was lots of cool kills, lots of blood. They were really unique in the fact that they brought up their own. They like invented their own different species of vampires.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. There's like 5 different species, different types that are mentioned throughout the movie. And there's at one point, without giving too much away, there's a point where a character says something referring to the fact that like all these different types of vampires are hanging out together. And he says that's not
normal,
common. Yeah. So you'll, if you watch, you'll see what that's about. That's kind of leading up to a cool scene. But yeah, the whole movie was great. I mean,
it was good. I didn't even know anything about it until I saw Christopher Nelson, like the Oscar winning makeup effects guy, post about it. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And like those guys killed it in this movie. I mean, there is a lot of like CG stuff, but you could saw that there was a lot of practical things they did and like makeups and shit, and it all looked really cool. It was fun as hell. Those guys did a great job. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I definitely would watch it again sometime. And I mean, they don't take long to get into the action.
Oh,
Within the first 5 minutes, there's already something going
it gets
down.
right in and stays entertaining straight
Yeah.
through to the end. I really dug it. It was fun.
Dave Franco's character was pretty funny.
Yeah.
You know, as kind of being like the butt of the joke sometimes, but it worked. And the more I listened to him, I kept thinking, man, he sounds like his brother. And then I was starting to think, like, what's he doing these days? Like, I haven't seen James in anything in a minute. Like, I know he is a painter on the side and everything, and you know, maybe he's even been diving deeper into art, but
off being a weirdo somewhere. Yeah, but the female that helps him later in the movie is gonna be Sabine Wren in the Ahsoka series. That's a little thing that they're in there. She's kind of, I guess she's pretty good martial artist and stuff. So she showed some moves, unless it was a stunt person in the movie, but she showed some cool shit in there. But you know what I'm talking about, right? The one that helped later on, Vampire Girl. Yeah, it was a good movie. So basically, if you like action and you're cool with some blood and some pants pissing and laughing, then you'll dig this one. So definitely day shift.
It was fun.
Else?
And also, you know, that what do you want to call it? That subgenre in horror, the vampires. It's been done so much, you know, zombies, vampires, werewolves, all that. And so to, you know, in this year, to be able to like come out with something that's creative and a little different, even though it gave me Blade vibes, it's not like Blade. You know, there's some similarities, but it still had its own vibe, is what I'm just trying to say. It was cool, like, because there's, you know, over the years you see trailers for maybe a zombie film, you're like, well, that looks no different from this other zombie movie that I've seen, you know. So at least if they come up with something unique and to make it stand out, then it gets your attention. Another title I can say that made me feel that way was 30 Days of Night. You know, at a time where Twilight was getting crammed down our throats, it was a nice breath of fresh air to get something like 30 Days of Night.
Weren't those out before Twilight?
I thought it came out.
I think the comics were.
Well, the comics maybe, but to be honest, I didn't even know about the comics or the books until the movie came out.
Right.
So I didn't know, I wasn't following them. And then after I saw the movie, I started diving into the books and got a comic or two. But I think they had at least a couple of the Twilight movies out, and I was so tired of that portrayal of vampires. And then
that kind of left it just
finally the monsters came back.
That kind of left a sour taste in your mouth for just vampires in general for a while.
Yeah, but then the opposite of you know, Edward shows up on a boat in Alaska and pulls people under houses and eats them and shit, you know. Like, it was nice to see a gruesome alternative to that.
Yeah, that was a good. I need to rewatch that. It's been a while.
And the sequel was okay. I mean, it wasn't nearly as good, but
no, definitely not.
It was all right. I kind of wish they had made more, you know, if the second one had done a little better and wasn't like a straight to DVD release, then maybe they would have made more.
So you watched Twilight before 30 Days of Night?
I didn't say anything about watching.
Well, I assumed because of the old nickname that.
But I'll tell you this:
that was going around.
I was working in a video store at the time, and so many people were coming in and renting Twilight, and you know, they hand the case to me. I'm like,
you're like, right. Shit, I was gonna take this home tonight.
No. I'm like, are you sure this is what you want?
Like, do you know that I'm Crypto Cullen? God damn it.
Don't you ever say that again.
But yeah, 30 Days a Night actually came out the year before Twilight, the movie.
Before the original?
Yeah.
Really?
I just looked it up.
Okay. Well, I thought there maybe was at least like one or two of those movies out before 30 Days a Night.
No.
But okay. Well, I just remember working at the video store and people were renting Twilight nonstop. And then occasionally I would get to like send someone in the direction of 30 Days a Night. Like, hey, you want something better? Go watch this one.
A good vampire movie.
Yeah.
Watch The Lost Boys. Watch the good version of Twilight. The Lost Boys.
Oh, I was gonna say there is no good version of Twilight, but yeah.
Only amazing one.
Apparently, right? You think there is.
Yeah.
So you tell me. You've watched them. You tell me what.
Everybody's watched them. You watched them too. Don't act like you ain't watched them. Everybody's seen them.
I watched.
Admit it.
Probably the first one with Sarah. That's about it. But I couldn't tell you much about it.
Yeah, me neither. But
I don't like the fact that the werewolves are just wolves. They're not werewolves.
They weren't supposed to be werewolves.
Oh, okay.
They were indigenous people that turned into wolves that were indigenous to their
Who's
land
the fan of this series?
No,
now,
I just say I told you I've seen them. Everybody's seen it. Everybody in this area have seen
vampires versus werewolves, and then I saw a clip. I'm like, that's not a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, but it was never really said werewolves. It was shitty CGI jobs too. But
yeah.
Anyways, who cares? Go watch fucking Day Shift. Go watch Day Shift.
Go watch Day Shift, and if you want to watch some more good vampire content, go watch the new season of What We Do in the Shadows, which Steve here still needs to catch up on.
I need to catch up,
but I am all up to date on it. I think there's like 5 or 6 episodes out already, because they're doing what a lot of other shows do now, where they put out like 2 in the beginning, and they'll put out 2 episodes at a time or whatever, and it just makes it fly by quickly. And if we like a show, we want the hype to last for several weeks.
The season's been going pretty good.
It's been really good. It's been funny.
The first 2 seasons were amazing too. So,
what's his name? Not Guillermo, the other guy that's not a vampire.
Not a vampire.
Well, the one with the glasses, the bald dude.
Oh, he's a vampire though.
Or he is a vampire, but like Colin.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily act like the rest of them, though. You know what I mean?
No, he's a different kind of vampire.
Yeah, he's a vampire, but I can't remember what they have a certain term for him.
But I just he just feeds off people's energy.
That's right. Yeah. So Colin, he recently.
He's a hilarious character. He fucking cracks me up.
Yeah, something happened to him. I'm not going to say what, but he is basically in the form of a little kid right now. He's like a 6-year-old boy.
But he still had the same power.
Yeah.
Because fucking little kids will drain your damn energy pretty quick too.
Yeah, he's doing it in a different way, just by being annoying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how he did it initially anyways. But
yeah, there's a part that I relate to where they're at like a party or something. I can't remember the setting, but he goes up to this table where these two women are sitting. It's not spoiling anything that bad.
He was like, Steve hasn't watched it yet, but I'm gonna spoil it right now for him.
I'm spoiling the whole damn show. Yeah. Just anybody that's a parent is probably gonna, get a crack or get a little bit of a laugh from it, as I did. Colin Robinson goes up to this table. These 2, vampires are sitting, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys like Roblox?" and one of them was like, "We're 113 years old. What the fuck is Roblox?" And that's all that my kid does all day long. That's all he plays. So that kind of hit a special spot in my heart.
You were like, fucking get out your crucifix. Like, get away with your Roblox.
Yeah.
Roblox. You should try that. You should try that with him when they hold up a crucifix. See how he reacts. He'd probably just be like, what? Huh? Anyways, Thank you for spoiling the series for me. I'll have to.
Oh yeah, I spoiled so much
You ruined
by
it. I'm never
giving
watching
away
it.
a
I'm never
Roblox
watching
joke.
TV again. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to spoil too much more. No more Roblox jokes for you. But I was just going to say that the Baron may or may not make a return.
I already know he came back
in this series.
It's been
or in
announced,
this season.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the Baron's back in this season.
Good.
And he's played by our friend Doug Jones, who, if you didn't know, was on last year's Halloween special. So you can go back and listen to that if you haven't already. I'm just gonna say we have not seen Doug like this before. I'm gonna leave it at that. And then when you watch it, you can let me know and we'll talk about it by then.
Okay, I'll work on it.
We have not seen Doug like this before.
All right. I think something we both watched. I know a lot of people were last week. The big talk was Prey, which was another fun movie. Like that's like people ask me, "Hey, what'd you think of Prey?" It's like fun. That's all I could think of. That's like my one word. It was a fucking
keyword fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Just action packed from beginning to end.
I've watched it like 3 times already.
How can you watch the same movie that many times when there's great movies like fucking, like you mentioned earlier, the 6-headed shark and stuff like that?
I know. What am I doing?
You're
wasting
cutting
my time
into your bad shark horror movies. Like you told me that you haven't even watched freaking Santa Jaws yet.
I have not, because my lady is so eager to watch movies like that with me that in the small amount of time that I have,
I was over here watching these acclaimed movies like Prey and Black Phone and shit like that. There's Santa Jaws and fucking Shark Exorcist sitting out there waiting for you to watch it.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to watch that later on my own time.
Yeah,
but I will. I definitely will. I'll definitely get to it. As you're mentioning shark movies, I did watch a shark movie yesterday. It wasn't Santa Jaws, but it is The Reef. It's kind of a weird name because it's the sequel to The Reef, so they call it The Reef Stalked. And I thought they could have worked on that a little bit longer, but they also could have worked on the movie a little bit longer too.
Or they could have just not worked on it at all.
Yeah.
And the world probably would have been okay.
It was okay. It was scary for me just because I'm kind of freaked out by sharks and whatnot, and just the how deep the ocean is, and it's like the known / unknown when you're out there. Like,
the ocean is pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah,
the power of just the water itself, but then it's full of like monsters.
Yeah, yeah, legit monsters. So, I like to admire it from land, but anyway, this movie kind of seemed like they took clips from Shark Week and plastered them in there. Like there were a couple scenes that
did look like it fit.
Like
yeah.
Maybe they had, like, obviously they didn't have a real shark, but like, oh, that looked like maybe a clip they actually made for the film. And then there's another shot of a shark that just looks like you've seen it before. A
lot of movies will use stock footage, to fill out scenes like that. So it's, it doesn't sound very good. It's probably about as bad as the one I fucking fell asleep watching the other night. I watched, I believe it's called Sharks of the Corn. We're not mistaken, like Children of the Corn, but sharks. And it was just boobs and sharks hunting.
It's called that. Boobs and sharks.
Sharks hunting in cornfields, like great white sharks.
Hunting boobs in cornfields.
No, it was just, some movies just, there's boobs in it.
Were they shark boobs? Or
no, they weren't even great boobs either. So it was just it's kind of a It was just, I don't know, man.
Like, man, I started this movie thinking I'd see some boobs, and like they're not even good ones.
Like, I almost want to go back and try to finish it, just because, like, it's hard for me to start a movie and not finish it. Like, you mentioned the fucking Twilight movies earlier. Like, you have to see what the fuck happened. Like,
do you really?
Ryan, I had to, but I wish I didn't. But like, Ryan started watching the show Riverdale, and she'd been binging it lately, like based on like the Archie comics characters. But like, I probably went through 3 seasons of it with her in the last couple of weeks while I've been down blasting through that, and it's like such a dumb fucking weird show that it was good, and it made me mad. Like, I was finding myself getting pissed. It was like fucking soap operas, you know what I mean? Like, if you sit in front of the TV in the afternoon and you watch like All My Children for a fucking week, come the weekend, you're gonna be wondering what's happening on Monday.
Yeah, my mom used to watch The Young and the Restless every morning. That was her show.
And you would get sucked in because you had to sit there and watch it. So you're like, fuck, what's going to happen?
You start watching it like, what are Nikki and Victor going to be doing this morning?
Exactly. And it was like that. But this had a lot of like darker themes, like serial killers and like murdering and killing and violence and sex and gambling. And it was... Yeah. And they're supposed to be like high school kids, but there's all this crazy shit going on. So, like,
you know what would make that better? Sharks. If you throw sharks into Riverdale, you know,
sharks at any point? I don't know.
Maybe like a shark just shows up at the school with a Letterman jacket on, and I would watch that. You're like, that shark is going to eat one of these kids at some point.
We should make that movie.
And he's talking to the kids. He's trying to act all cool and blend in like he's one of them. And all the kids are like, that's a fucking shark in the classroom with sunglasses on and a Letterman jacket. And he's acting like the Fonz. It's 2022.
We got to make
kids
that.
Don't even know who the Fonz is.
We got to make that. And we need, because I love the job that Ron Funches did voicing King Shark, so he has to voice one of the sharks in this movie.
And he's so like outdated. He thinks that all these kids know who the Fonz is and thinks that he's cool. So he's just like, "Hey guys," and like acting like, you know,
it's high
Ron
like,
Fonzie.
yeah. I don't know. I think that movie would go right on the list with Shark, Exorcist, and Santa Jaws.
Well, I know that the executives at HBO Max are listening right now, so you know they'll be calling us for.
No, they won't. They'll make the movie and they'll steal the idea and it'll go straight to streaming.
I want residuals.
Yeah, but we kind of went way off Prey.
We sure did. We started talking about.
I didn't have much more to say about it because people had kind of beaten Prey to death the last couple of weeks and talked about it a ton.
Well, other people have, but that doesn't mean that people who are listening to our show have seen Prey yet or have been listening to other people beat Prey to death.
I just want to say, my one thing I want to get across about the movie is that the lead, the girl, the actress named Amber Midthunder, is I think she has fucking star potential. Like, she was amazing in this movie, and she played badass. And I think it would be really cool. I think she's like a good role or two away from being like household name.
Yeah,
and we might see her. I think it's about time we have an indigenous native person be pushed to the forefront like that, because one, she's super talented, and we know she can play a badass. So do it. Somebody make it happen. Maybe she could be in the Shark Riverdale series.
I think so. I think that's
she could be like
very appropriate.
She could date the fawn shark.
Yeah.
Sharkarelli.
And she doesn't even know that he's a shark until he takes his sunglasses off one day and reveals it to everybody.
Yep.
You know. Well, there's some people that think that he's a shark, you know, but they're not quite sure. Yeah.
Maybe have a little,
and then he takes off the shades, like, I knew it.
You son of a bitch. I knew it. Yeah.
The fin
Ooh.
and all the other stuff didn't give it away, but now I see.
Damn it. But what's your quick thoughts on Prey?
It was really fun. Everybody's been ranking it. Throwing their order in of like what they what the preferences are.
In the Predator series,
yeah. I would say, like, I mean, the original's still my favorite. I like Predator 2, but I'm not like, I don't watch it as much as the first one. So I'm really into the original Predators, where they go to the hunting planet, and this one. Those are my top three.
I go 1, Prey, and 2.
Yeah, that's what most people are saying.
Yeah,
the original 2 with this one.
See, I like 2 just because I like Danny Glover.
Yeah,
so. But yeah. You guys watched Black Phone too, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We watched that over the weekend. It was cool. It was different, kind of spooky. I will say I'm glad that I didn't like pay for a rental.
I did.
But I didn't jump and pay $20 to rent it.
Well, I bought it.
Yeah.
Online, so basically I could stream it whenever. But did you like it though, overall?
Yeah, it was fun. Well, I'll say what we were talking about the other day. Like, there's like, and everybody listening probably can agree or relate. There's levels to your fandom, and so like there's movies that you'll say you go to something in the theater, you come out, you're like, I'm gonna buy that, like that was damn good. I'm gonna buy that. I'm not hesitating. I want to watch that again right now. And then there's some stuff that you'll watch where you're like, I could have waited, or I could have waited a couple months till it was streaming, and or also you'll add like, well, I don't see myself buying that movie. That's what I'll say about this one. It was a fun watch. I probably won't watch it again, but I'm glad that I did see it.
Yeah, I think personally, it was a fairly unique story.
Yep.
Which kept me into it. It was good. Like, if I went and watched it in a theater, I wouldn't have left disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm really not disappointed that I paid, $25 when it went to on demand. You know what I mean? Because if I would have went to the theater, I would have ended up spending fucking $40 between movie tickets and junk food. Anyways.
Yeah.
So I just sat home and fucking think I ordered pizza that night. So I'd rather have pizza than popcorn anyways. So I dug it in that sense.
Pause it and go to the bathroom or whatever.
It was, and I probably did. It was a good, unique story. Ethan Hawke was phenomenal as a psychopath. I really liked him in that role.
Yeah, I like seeing him play a villain.
Yeah, he was really, really creepy and make you, just an unsettling kind of way.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I think if he would have kidnapped the little girl instead, the movie would have lasted 10 minutes because she probably would have fucked him up and got away because the little girl was a badass. Remember the little girl that was looking for him? She was like smarter and seemed a little tougher than all the boys. So
yeah. But he was, well, no, never mind. If I say that, it's going to spoil something.
People watched it already.
Okay, well, he was smart to have the extra home as well. When they burst into the one place and they're like, oh shit, he's not here, and then they figure out that it's the house across the street.
Yeah,
that was kind of.
You're gonna be a
smart on his end.
You're gonna be a weirdo fucking child abductor. You probably got to have a backup plan.
Yeah, and what's what's his point, man? What's like, what's the idea? I mean, he told the kid at one point, he's like, oh, I'm not gonna hurt you and I'm gonna let you go soon or whatever. Like, well, then why are you even keeping me here now? Like, what for?
Oh, he was lying. First,
Yeah, I mean, of course he
he's
was
just crazy.
Yeah,
just.
I guess I was thinking he should have had something better to say than that.
Maybe.
Like, what the fuck are you keeping me here for, then, man?
Yeah, I'd like to read the actual story that Joe Hill wrote and see if there's more to it, to the actual story. So this is based on his short story. So I don't know. Maybe I'll look it up. Maybe I'll check it out. But overall, it was good. I mean, people loved it. A lot of people, it got a lot of really good, critical acclaim, and which I mean, I don't know if it was that good, but it was good. It was enjoyable. I'm glad I watched it. I didn't come away from it feeling like I just watched fucking Sharks of the Corn or anything. It was it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's not one that I feel like I need to go buy for my collection. It's not one I'm gonna, in a couple of years from now, I'll be like, oh, that movie was amazing, I need to watch it again. Like, no, probably not. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it was cool, but maybe I shouldn't even say this because it's going to sound like I'm comparing them, which I'm not. But my fandom for something like the Scream series is much, much stronger. I might not be a huge fan of every movie, but I like them enough to where I'm still gonna buy the Scream movies just because I want to have them all, and it's part of one long story in a way. I'm not gonna buy the Black Phone, but I did buy 5 Cream over the weekend.
Yeah,
I bought that for like $12 at Walmart. Same thing with Halloween Kills. So if anybody's looking for those, you can get them there for pretty cheap on Blu-ray. But Halloween too. I love those movies, so I'm going to buy them even if they're not the greatest. Like the next one, I'll probably end up buying Halloween Ends when that comes out, just because I have the other two in this new trilogy now. So
yeah, I'll probably pick them up down the road for sure.
Yeah. But there's a handful of movies that are coming out that are spooky titles in the next couple months that we've mentioned already, that some of them we might want to buy, and some of them might just be fine watching them on streaming every now and then. People like us collectors, we still want that physical media if we like it enough. Like, I saw the pre-order for The Munsters on Amazon today for $14.99.
Yeah,
and it threw me off at first because I was like, that's not even out yet. And I clicked on it and saw that it was just a pre-order. And but even I'm excited to watch that, and I'll probably get it for my collection at some point.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pre-order it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll be pre-ordering that at some point, sometime soon. Hocus Pocus 2, I'll probably get that on DVD too. But there's other titles that you just that you're not going to go back to them again and again. And when I was younger, maybe I would buy horror titles that, like, oh, this is cheap and it was fun or whatever, I'll buy it. And then later you're looking at it on your shelf, you're like, how much do I watch that?
But then
like, why did I even buy this?
But back then it was like we didn't have everything going right streaming. We didn't have it right at our fingertips. So
that's true.
That horror movie came out, you either had to rent it or buy it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you would catch it when, most times when movies have come out brand new, you could get them a little cheaper. They'd always hit with like a sale or something and you'd get it. And I got a lot of movies on my damn shelf that are just, like, still sealed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because everything went to streaming, it's like, I'll just turn on my TV and stream it. But But I think this is probably a good point to take a little pause here and run that new segment that we mentioned at the top of the show with Jack from Stapled Spine Fanzine. Of course, you could find Stapled Spine online. Not trying to rhyme on purpose, but just so happens that I did. But we're going to run that segment here real quick. And then when we come back, we're going to mention a couple more things and do our weekly trivia. So let's go check out the horror comic segment from our friends at Stapled Spine Fanzine. Check it out.
Hey, it's Svengoolie from MeTV. You see me every Saturday night, but right now you're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. Don't confuse that with the Beeve and Scripto Show, which is Jerry Mathers talking to a pen. You might have to Google that one. Anyway, and please continue to support the horror hosts who are all out there. You know, I'm very grateful for your support, and the fact that we've nationally been successful has actually shown some TV markets that there is a need for hosted horror. So it's great that we're continuing the genre, and we need your support. So please keep supporting horror hosts. We thank you. I do too.
We all love a good ghost story, but have you ever wondered how it came to be?
Have you ever wanted to dig deeper into the true history of your favorite stories of the macabre?
How about whether or not it really went down that way?
Join us bi-weekly on Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, where we, two paranormal investigators, delve into the depths of the famous and not so famous cases of murder, ghosts, legends, and lore, with a healthy dose of debunking.
I'm Gabby, the resident Mulder.
And I'm Kim, the resident Scully.
And we're your ghostesses of Ghoulish Tendencies podcast, found wherever you listen to podcasts. Stay spooky.
I'm Mr. Lobo of Cinema Insomnia, and you're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. Or are you?
Hello from Oregon. It's time for Stapled Spine Fanzine's Horror Comic Roundup. This is Jack Rudo, and I've got some comics to share with you. Now here, folks, I am picking this month. These are my 7 favorite horror comics from July 2022. And I tried to pick the most accessible comics that you can go and find. And the good thing about modern horror comics is they're pretty usually short-lived. We're talking like of 5, of 8, etc. I'm not going to throw you into like House of Mystery 158 and you got to figure out what's going on. So we're going to start off right at number 7 here, and this is again not in order of what I like, it's order of how many are out there. This is Skybound Publishing, a subset of Image Comics. This is Fuck This Place, otherwise, that's the variant cover, otherwise known as I Hate This Place. This is from Kyle Starks, Artyom Topolin, and Lee Lowbridge. Now, this comic, I have to say, hit the ground running so fast on its first issue. It is the story of a couple. They inherit a farm out in the woods, and all I can tell you is that there are ghosts, UFOs, some folklore a la the Ritual film, Monster Horned Man in the Woods. There's a possibly serial killer. Basically, it's a kitchen sink of a book that doesn't falter on any of these bases it's trying to throw at you. It goes all around, and we are on issue 3. I Hate This Place is probably how you'll find it. It's a variant to get the naughty word in the title. But I Hate This Place, I highly recommend, from Skybound at Image Comics. Next up, we've got Count Crowley, Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter. This is a local book here from Oregon, Dark Horse Comics. And Oregon artist Lucas Kettner is doing this book with internet darling David Dashtmalian. Count Crowley, Amateur Midnight Hunter. This is number 3 of 4. This is the second volume that was recently brought back by Fan Demand, and it is a great homage to 80s TV horror hosts. and just basically that whole down and out kind of Bruce Campbell-esque junkie jerk person who is suddenly thrust into having to fight monsters. This is a great title to get into. Volume 1 is now in trade. Volume 2 is happening now. As I said, we're on 3 of 4. But what's exciting is this October, they have Dark Horse just announced that they're doing a crossover with Steve Niles and his Cal McDonald Criminal Macabre one-shot. And it's going to be our Count Crowley crossing over with Cal McDonald. So check that out. Next up is from Black Caravan Comics, and it is issue 2 of 5. This is Pentagram of Horror. Now, this is written and drawn and inked. It's all by Marco Fantellini, an Italian author that if you find him on the social medias, you will get ridiculous amounts of live footage of him painting and drawing, and it is mind-blowing. Pentagram of Horror is a wonderful book from Black Caravan, which is an imprint of Scout Comics. Yes, excuse me, Scout Comics. Black Caravan is the imprint there, and that's put up by Joseph Schmalke and Rich Woodall, who runs Black Caravan. Black Caravan is an interesting group to find because they have wonderful covers, like just the stock and everything, the paper. When you buy this comic, it feels like you bought something you want to hang on to. And this Pentagram of Horror from Marco Fontanelli is only in its second issue. It's a horror comic. It is horrific, and it is beautiful, and it's black and white, and I cannot recommend it enough. Get Pentagram of Horror. Next up, we're going back to Dark Horse. We've got Tyler Crook's The Lonesome Hunters, number 2. This is a new series from Tyler Crook, who is the critically acclaimed artist behind such Dark Horse hits as Harrow County. And he also did the amazing Manor Black, which is happening right now with a second volume. Lonesome Hunters is a really, really solid startup new focus of a story from Tyler Crook that is basically a Lone Wolf and Cub style type story, but you've got an old man who was thrust into being a monster hunter in his teens, and it was propelled him into a really shitty life, and now he's teamed up with a young girl who lives in the building. So check out Lonesome Hunters. We're on issue 2 now from Dark Horse Comics. Here's the number 1s. We're on to the number 1s for July that I really want you to check out. Next up is Scout Comics, and they have She Bites. She Bites is brought to us by writer Hedwig Hale, artist Alberto Hernandez, and this is for people who love Let the Right One In or Let Me In, depending on which version you're looking at. This is a fantastic first issue of a story of a 100-plus-year-old vampire trapped in a 9-year-old blonde little girl's body and her life in modern day. And she's out, trying to buy cigarettes, and she's a 9-year-old and no one will sell her cigarettes. It's very bloody, very gross, and she needs a babysitter to, be her familiar. Excellent book. Find She Bites from Scout Comics. Next up, our number 1, Impact Winter from Skybound and Image Again. Impact Winter is an interesting book because it started off as an Audible file. An audio book that you can get of the same name. But this comic here, Impact Winter, it's from writer Travis Beacham, artist Stephen Green, and this is a post-apocalyptic meteor hits the planet, impact boom, constant winter, kind of like the current Noctera story that's happening, but Impact Winter is a vampire story, and it has, my favorite thing, different types, layers, and versions of the sinister undead and those that have to live in the world and deal with it. This formula has been done many times, but something about this book did it different and did it right, and that's why it's on my list. So check out Impact Winter number 1. Last on my list, this is outside of all of my other criteria, is what number it is, if it's new or not, whatever. This came out in July, and it is my absolute favorite book right now. This is Aftershocks Bunny Mask The Hollow Inside, #3. Now, Bunny Mask is an interesting book because every time it's on a top 10 list or a top 5 list, and it is many, many times, everybody says pretty much the same thing. I love this comic, and I don't know what's going on, and I don't know why. And that is just a testament to what is great about it. You've got Paul Tobin writing this book and the wonderful Andrea Muti painting this book. This and Tyler Esposito's lettering are fantastic as well. Bunny Mask. Oh, it's creepy and it's fun and it's unnerving in just the right amount of way. It's what do you even call it? Gory. It just hits all the right markers. And again, I'm gonna be one of those jerks. I can't tell you why. You have to read it for yourself and figure out, yep, that book is off and it's great. And I can't wait for the next one to come out. The first volume, the first trade recently came out from Aftershock. We are currently on issue 3 of the second volume. Please, please, please go find Aftershock's Bunny Mask, The Hollow Inside. And gang, that's my 7-issue roundup for July 2022 from Stapled Spine Fanzine. We focus on all sorts of horror out of here in Horror Oregon, but boy, oh boy, do we love our spooky funny books.
Hi, I'm Doug Jones, the tall, skinny, goofy actor who plays lots of monsters and creatures on film and in TV. But today, I want you to know that you are listening to the best podcast on the air, and that would be the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we're back. Definitely want to hear what you guys think of the new segment. I want to make it a regular thing, monthly. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a good way to get new listeners, that read Stapled Spine, of course, and we want to send some of our listeners over to them to check out their zine because I think it's a really fun little rag they put together. They do it old school, man. They literally cutting and pasting pages together like in the good old days. And they talk about like I said, I'm really fond of the section where they review horror comics. Because I don't have much time to read comics, but when I do, most of the time they are horror comics. And this is a good way for me to find new ones to check out and you guys. So I hope you guys dig this segment. Definitely let us know. Crypto told you earlier in the show where we are on social media. So definitely tell us what you think. If you think it's cool, think anything we should change about it. It's our first run at it, so I'm sure we'll probably tweak it a little bit here and there. But like I said, Stapled Spine, go to stapledspine.com and check them out. Get you a copy, see what you think of it, and I think we should have some fun with this.
Yeah, it's nice to see any horror comics getting some love.
Yep,
from anyone.
Before we chat about a couple more things and wrap up, I think we should probably do our trivia. It's about that time.
Yeah, they've been waiting, man. They've been without trivia for a while now.
They got trivia last week. They got trivia on the It Came From Somewhere episode.
Okay, well, let's make up for the time before that.
I welcomed them into my bed as I recorded from bed. I recorded our quick intro and all that stuff. But trivia. You guys know what to do. Message CryptoZoo88 or the Steve Strout or wherever else you might know us at. Give us the answer. We'll send you stickers, maybe more, and put you on a list to win prizes. And Halloween's coming, so we'll probably have Halloween-y stuff. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Just fucking tell us the answer so we could give you stuff.
Give me the answer, damn it.
All right. So this week's trivia question. What horror film was Eli Roth's directorial debut?
Say what?
What? I did say what. What horror film was Eli Roth's directorial debut? So if you know
Live action Lion King.
There you go. You fucking spoiled it again. You spoiled what we do in the shadows for me. Now you're spoiling trivia. Son of a bitch. No, seriously, yeah. You guys know the
Remember
answer.
that part when Simba attached the hyena to the chair and tortured him?
I don't think
Cut his Achilles tendon. It's like, you're free to go.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Disney's gonna.
He's like, are you laughing now, hyena?
Disney's
laughing now?
Disney's gonna fuck you up. Mickey Mouse is gonna torture you.
Ha! I'm gonna saw your head off. Ha!
Goofy, of course. Look at him bleed.
Gorsh, that's a lot of blood.
Oh Lord! Now we're gonna get. Now we're gonna get
everywhere.
Now we're gonna get sued for portraying Disney characters in violent situations.
Oh shit!
I can't do Donald Duck. That would hurt my voice. So
yeah,
I'm good. Let's just let it go.
It would just sound like a duck at that point. I could make the noise for you, but it wouldn't sound like any actual words. So there's no point.
We've already beaten our bad joke to death. So let's just move on. Go answer the trivia question. Tell us the answer. What was Eli Roth's directorial debut? You know where to find us, and you know what to tell us. Do it.
You know the answer. Now give it to us. Ha
ha. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Let's switch it up from the trivia and Disney jokes
to
well, I recently went to a beloved store that's open in the fall that always gets my money, at least some of it. Spirit is open for anybody who doesn't know.
Let me throw in real quick that Halloween decor stuff. One of my favorite things to do every year is go around and look at Halloween decor and shop for it.
Yep.
And stuff has been hitting the stores for like a month now. And I've been broken the whole time. And it's really getting depressing and pissing me off. And
so if anybody wants to send Halloween decorations to
send me
Steve's house.
Halloween stuff. Yeah. And I'm gonna, against my better judgment and to protect my mental health, I'm gonna not listen to Crypto's next segment bragging about Spirit Halloween. And I'm just gonna let him go. I'm gonna sit here and quietly drink some water because my throat's dry, because this is the most I've talked in 2 weeks.
New Patreon members can now
on.
get a vial of Steve's tears. So yeah, last weekend we noticed that Spirit in Silverdale, Washington is open. I don't know about other locations. I know there are some that are open, at least. You know, I'm not sure where, but at least if you're in this part of Washington and you're looking for Spirit, you can go to Silverdale.
That's the Spirit.
Yeah, that's the Spirit. They are in the old Pier 1 Imports building, kind of across from Hobby Lobby, which doesn't support Halloween.
I love how the big Halloween shop. I love how the Halloween shop is right in front of the Jesus Hobby Lobby joint.
Yeah. Just rubbing it in with their banner with the Grim Reaper on it, like staring at Hobby Lobby all day and night. So yeah, we went there last weekend and picked up a few things. Each year they seem to like kind of specialize in a couple different franchises. You know, they have lots of things for different iconic characters, but they like last year, or maybe the year before, they had a ton of Killer Clowns from Outer Space stuff, and
last year for sure.
Pennywise and Michael Myers and whatnot. So this year there seems to be a lot of focus on, rightfully so, Hocus Pocus, which I got a new coffee mug from Hocus Pocus. And there's some Scream Ghostface merch. They have some Gremlins merch. Killer Clowns is another one, and Trick or Treat.
I'm seeing more and more Trick or Treat merch every year. Like
Trick or Treat seems to be a big one this year.
Following for the movie is like growing and growing.
Yeah, they had a couple different coffee mugs. Sarah got one. We got a Trick or Treat magnet for the fridge. We got a we got like this thing. It's like a pumpkin that's carved, and Sam is sitting on top of it, and it lights up. The pumpkin lights up. We actually ended up not even paying anything for that.
How the hell did you do that?
The guy forgot to ring it up, and we get outside, and I was,
don't be telling nobody. I want Spirit to sponsor us someday. Dude, like we already did. There you go. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you, Spirit. We love you very much. You still got a lot of my money last weekend. I'll tell you that. I I picked up plenty of things that were scanned correctly and paid for. It was not my fault, but I did benefit from it. So thank you. But anyway,
poor guy in Silverdale has to find a new job now. But yes.
Well, I'm not going to say any names of who it was, because I don't know their name. But yeah. I'm not going to say any names. Yeah. So we got the magnet. We got the little light up Sam. I got a Gremlins blanket. But yeah, they had some cool stuff. There's a ghost face mug that I kind of want to go back for, and yeah, again, lots of trick or treat stuff there this year.
Remember when that movie first came out and like nobody really gave a shit about it?
Yeah,
and then, like every year it got bigger and bigger. Now it's like huge.
Yeah, it's definitely
good for it. It's a fun movie. But
yeah, it's fun. Honestly, I'm not saying this as they should, but I'm surprised they haven't made sequels for it.
Right.
Just knowing how Hollywood is, like, oh, that worked. People like it. Okay, let's make more.
Yeah, but it's taken a while for it to really work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think eventually we'll get one. I'm sure there's probably somebody out there like, let's make a sequel. Look how popular it is now. Like, I get all this shit at Spirit Halloween. But then they're like, no, we just lost a bunch of money on that fucking pumpkin bowl walking out of there free. That cut into our budget. We can't do it now.
Yeah.
So Marcus at this Silverdale fucking Spirit Halloween is the reason we don't have Trick or Treat 2 or something. I don't know. But it's great. I love Spirit Halloween. And I always get so excited building up, waiting for it to open. It's like, here comes Spirit. It's almost here. It's here. And then it's here. Then you go there and you're like, fuck, this shit's so expensive.
Yeah.
and then you're let down and then you're over it. And then you're like, I'm just going to wait for Walmart to put out their cheap shit.
Yeah.
But everybody is like stepping it up with the Halloween shit.
It sucks, man. Because it's like, if you want like the good franchise stuff, the trademark stuff, you go to Spirit, and you're gonna pay for it. You're gonna
they know
you're gonna pay that $30 for a sign.
Yeah, I paid $50 for that fucking Beetlejuice sign.
That Beetlejuice one, yeah. I saw a guy carrying one of those signs out, the same one you have. So yeah, if you want the stuff that's like really popular and trademarked, as I said, that you're gonna go there. If you want just generic stuff, you can go to Dollar Tree, TJ Maxx, Party City,
TJ
or
Maxx
whatever,
has
Walmart.
Nice stuff. TJ Maxx usually has like designer brand shit. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, like, you're not gonna find like Freddy Krueger stuff there or Chucky stuff.
Not much. Not much. No.
Yeah,
not much. Maybe Walmart.
It's more like ghosts and more like how would you say that? More wide, like characters that aren't necessarily
more
like
traditional Halloween stuff. Yeah. But like what's cool is like places like Target and Walmart and stuff have been just like putting out their own lines of like Halloween decor the last handful of years. So that's cool.
Yep. And of course Home Depot is where to go if you want like the giant skeletons and werewolves and things like that.
I want the giant skeleton, but I can't. Like, where am I gonna put it?
Yeah,
it sucks.
Something like that, you're gonna keep that up all the time.
Yeah, you'd like to, for sure.
Yeah.
That would not go over well. Not here. Not in my apartment building up on the 3rd floor.
But I want to let everybody know that's listening. If you're like, when is Spirit gonna open? It is open now. Maybe not in your town or in your city, but look around, look online, and you can find locations near you that may be open now. and go get the goods before other people do. You know, go find what you need.
You can get a lot of it online too.
Oh yeah,
which is good.
And Spirit, as we said, is kind of expensive, but honestly, it seems like a couple things I looked at might have went down in price a little bit.
With the stuff that they had in prior years, or
there's definitely some things that I've seen there before. And it's been a year since I've been in a Spirit, so maybe I'm just forgetting how much they were. But there were a couple things, like a couple blankets and mugs that I look at. I'm like, that seems actually a little cheaper than usual. So
maybe,
yeah, like the blankets aren't all the same. There's some that are a little thicker and bigger. There's like fleece blankets and throw blankets, so they range from like $27 to $40, depending on what you want.
That's cool. I'm glad that the Halloween shit is hitting stores and it's just about in full swing. So hopefully I'm recovered soon enough that I could get some shit before everybody gets it all.
And watch, probably third week of September, they'll start bringing Christmas shit in and slowly pushing Halloween stuff out, whether we like it or not.
No. Let's not talk about that.
The most wonderful time of the year is October.
I've already gone through enough trauma in the past month. I don't need no more yet. Not ready yet.
I'm sorry to get the waterworks flowing. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, before we wrap up here, we're always mentioning movies that are coming out. So I got a couple here that have been announced or are coming soon. So we'll run through them before we wrap up the show. So I think it just came out was the Orphan follow-up.
Really? It's out now?
Believe so, or it's out this week.
Ooh.
Orphan First Kill. Which
I love the first one.
I'd never seen the first one.
Oh man, you gotta watch that.
So I'm definitely, that's on my plan this week to watch because I know the new one's coming.
I used to have the DVD and I let a family friend borrow it, and I'm at this point I'm probably just gonna buy it again.
Yeah,
but
it's good. That's worth buying.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really cool. It has a great twist, and so being that it's unique, it's very unique, and being that I like the first one so much, I'm pretty excited that there's finally a sequel. I just hope, and I've probably mentioned this, the whole waiting too long for a sequel thing. I hope that doesn't affect it at all.
Well, it's supposed to be like the same girl, right?
And she's older. Yeah.
So like they waited till she was older, like not broken or something, and turns out she is. But we'll see. We'll see
what happens with that. I can't really say much about the girl without spoiling it, so I'm not going to do that because I already spoiled What We Do in the Shadows for you earlier and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So with my Roblox joke
and the reef.
Oh yeah, don't forget that. What the other thing that I spoiled for you? Yeah,
what was it called? Like refilled or something like that.
Reef stocked.
Reef stocked, like restocked, but reef stocked.
Yeah, reef stocked. yeah. It's kind of funny that you watched Sharks of the Corn, and then I watched Reef Stocked. And
sometimes you just need a sleep aid,
Yeah, there's some real gems in the shark movie department,
but you know what?
And the creature feature department.
When it comes down to it, these are people that are creating these movies and these stories and their art, and they're putting a lot of themselves into it, and I appreciate it. Even if I don't enjoy it, even if it's fucking stupid, like good on you for saying like I'm gonna fucking make my vision happen.
Exactly.
Doing it.
I mean, I wish I had the opportunity to do that kind of thing, to be able to make a movie and, hopefully make a movie with my friends. And it just seems like such a fun project. Except I would not be making a shark movie. I admire sharks, but I don't know, man. It's
like toilet sharks.
Brown sharks.
Gross.
Oh no.
Yeah, so some other movies coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. What else you got?
There's one called Dark Harvest coming. I don't know much about, but there's like an image that I seen like on Instagram, and it looked very Halloweeny horror thrillery. Thrillery is not even a word, but whatever. But
Thrillery.
Yeah, it looks cool. That's supposed to be in September.
The thrillerist movie you've seen in years.
Of course, the Pearl is coming.
Pearl? Oh, right. The sequel or the prequel to X.
Yeah, the origin story for Pearl, which I think could potentially be better than X, just because we could see why this old lady is crazy and kills people.
Yeah, maybe I'll like it more.
I think it'll open up, make people look at X in a whole different light.
It might.
There's one called Don't Worry, Darling coming. So it looks like thriller horror type thing, which whatever. Of course, Halloween Ends, which we've mentioned a million times in October.
Yep.
I just caught the date, October 25th, for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. It's going to be like a 4-day like anthology thing, I guess. I don't know, but anything Guillermo del Toro is involved with, I usually like.
So they're just going to put out a story.
I think so. It's going to be like a Netflix thing. I guess cool. Netflix is doing their Halloween Netflix and chill thing or whatever it is. I don't know.
Okay.
What? Pray for the Devil. October 28th, I believe. Another horror thriller type movie. Nothing super exciting. I'm more excited for the stuff that we've already talked about, like the less horror, more fun stuff, like the Monsters and the Wednesday Addams thing and Hocus Pocus.
Yep, all those should be fun.
That's the shit I'm most excited for personally. Are we forgetting something? I'm sure there's a ton of movies.
I feel like we are, yeah.
Well, you know, if we remember, we'll mention it next time. I'm sure a bunch of other titles will pop up that we don't mention or didn't mention. So next week, we'll talk about it and other stuff and this and that and the other thing.
Yeah, I think we've been rambling enough on this one.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys go for now.
I'm starting to get that uncomfortable feeling in my leg, so I need to go get back to a comfortable position. I probably pushed myself harder. So now I'm going to be out another week. Just kidding. Hope not. Fingers crossed. But
yeah.
Well, so
we'll still try to record an episode for you guys, even if Steve's not able to work.
Yeah, for sure. So go find us on social media. He's CryptoZoo88. I'm the Steve Strout.
Go find the Facebook group.
Go to buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto and
patreon.com/Steve Crypto.
And then go get some merch from Etsy.
Etsy/shop/Steve Crypto merch.
Yes. Or just go search it. Steve Crypto on Etsy and it'll pop up. But let us know what you think of Jack's segment from Stable Spine. And I think that'll about wrap this week. We will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully it's not 3 weeks again before we get to do this.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be talking to you guys again real soon. I'm sure we'll be back next week with more spooky news for you. If there's much to talk about, we'll be here to report it. And we thank you guys for listening as always. We thank you for supporting us and telling your friends about the show and, just anything to help us continue to do what we do is because of you guys, so we thank you for your help.
Yeah, for sure. One last thing before we wrap, I want to give a quick shout out to an Instagram follower that's been constantly showing a lot of support on the social medias. Now I'm just digging. Fuck. I just went blank. A social media follower, Instagram follower that's been showing us a lot of love. My body is angry at me right now and distracting me. So dude named Horrorman93 on Instagram. Go follow him, show him some, tell him that Steven Crypto sent you. he's been showing us a lot of love lately. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like I said,
thank you.
Show us that love on social media. We'll shout you out here. And
If you can take a second to leave a review on your favorite podcast app, whatever app you use, type up a little review in there, whatever you think of the show, we would greatly appreciate it.
yes, I think that's about enough. I think we'll shut up for the rest of the week.
Yeah.
So I am Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. We will catch you on episode 89. Peace.